Welcome. Salut, everyone. Welcome here on YouTube. Hey, welcome everybody on TikTok. Send it out to the TikTok universe. Welcome Gordon, Ba Edmund, Marie. Welcome everybody on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. This is Crypto Kid TV and Kryptonic Media. We're going to, on TikTok, we're going to wait for TikTok to send it out to the TikTok universe before I go through Bitcoin prices, XRP, Ethereum, and I talk about the Democrat judges who fall for the Donald Trump Booby Trap. Welcome any MAGA people out there. We're going to get down to it. I'm pulling up news headlines so we can talk about all of them right now. And these are just activist judges, but what they're really doing is falling into the Donald Trump So a third federal judge blocks Trump's birthright citizenship order. And all these judges are doing are taking the booby trap. So these are all Democratic judges that have been appointed by Obama and Biden. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to create policy. See, thank you so much for all the love. Send out the heart. Send it out to the TikTok universe. I'm going to break it down. Been doing this for more than 30 years, so I know both sides of the argument. Please send it out there to MAGA people. Send it out there to the TikTok universe. This is just kicking. I'm just analyzing. I'm being a reporter. I'm being an unbiased reporter, telling you guys what's really going on here. And basically, for you guys, like, how many of you guys even remember what you studied about in American civics in high school? Most of you guys probably didn't even take American civics in high school. I'm going to tell you that right now. What's up, Bones? And Antonio. And so you have three branches: the judicial branch, which are the judges, the Supreme Court; the executive branch, which is the president; and the legislative branch, which is Congress, both the Senate and the House of Representatives. And the legislative branch makes policy. Okay. They vote into law. They come up with bills and then they vote those bills into law. And it's the president that determines what the policy of domestic in America and abroad should be. And now all branches are equal. However, over the last 35, 40 years, we've noticed that the Supreme Court and the judges, actually the judicial branch, wants to be the most dominant branch. This is the phenomenon we're recognizing, is that if you looked at Trump's first term, basically everything he was trying to do, there was a federal judge telling him, no, you can't. Based upon what? And there's nothing in the Constitution that gives the Supreme Court or a federal judge that type of authority. So what you see now is that Trump's executive order blocking birthright citizenship, a federal judge says, no, you can't. And what Trump is doing is he's throwing it out there so he could take it up to the Supreme Court. And then he also had Doge cut out all this efficiency. Now you have another Democratic Biden, Obama appointed judge telling Donald Trump, no, you can't do that. And there's nothing in the American Constitution which gives a federal judge the authority to stop the president, who is the executive branch, for cutting staff within the executive branch. Where a federal judge can step in is if Donald Trump writes in an executive order, such as with birthright citizenship. Well, he's saying that law goes over all 50 states. Okay, so that is something that now Donald Trump, through an executive order, is creating policy at the executive branch where normally it's done by the legislative branch. And the Supreme Court can step in and tell Donald Trump, well, hey, you can't do that. But a federal judge cannot tell Donald Trump what he can do in the executive branch. Like if Donald Trump wants to cut staff within the White House or the IRS, no federal judge has the authority to tell him he can't do that. Just like no judge stepped in and told Biden that he could not hire 85,000 IRS agents to audit you and I. Because all of you guys that are on here, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, you most likely make under $150,000. If you're on TikTok watching this, you're a young crowd. So I know you 1-2% of you guys make over $150,000. So Biden hired these 85,000 IRS agents to go after you on TikTok and you on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn to audit you. And if you make less than $150,000 in the United States, you're the person that's getting audited by Biden's 85,000 IRS agents. Also, those agents were hired to find out all of you guys that took that PPP loan and you didn't even have a business. And then you took that money and bought a brand new car. So, you're like, unless Donald Trump cuts those 85,000 IRS agents, they're coming after all of you guys that took that PPP loan and you didn't have a business and you spent it on a car. They're coming after you. And man, I feel sorry for you. I know people offered me that money. I was like, nope, I am not taking that. They're going to come back after everybody that took that. So in addition to that, with ICE, you have federal judges trying to stop Donald Trump from doing that. And so what these judges are doing is falling into the Trump booby trap. You heard it. I'm calling it now. Sandra, thank you. Thank you for all the loves, the hearts. Make sure you follow me. My goal is to get 150 followers, okay, on TikTok. So if you're Ty Pool, follow me. Kathy Bellotti, Betty Boop. Hey, welcome back, Betty Boop. Make sure you follow me. You get the notification. Kenneth Fox. And then, hey, let's do a shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? We saw there were some questionable calls right out the gate. All right, there we go to the Eagles. We're tooting out to the Eagles and everything. KK, welcome. KA, welcome. Tattoo 5, welcome. Okay, but out the gate, there were like 3 questionable calls that were like favoring the Chiefs. And you already saw the fix was in, but the Philadelphia Eagles. It's funny how the Kansas City Chiefs, Andy Reid, could not win under the Philadelphia Eagles. He had Randall Cunningham. He couldn't win a Super Bowl with Randall Cunningham. He had, what's the other big dude that went to the Redskins? Like Andy Reid had all these black quarterbacks underneath him for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he could not win a Super Bowl. He had to leave the Philadelphia Eagles, go to the Kansas City Chiefs to finally win a Super Bowl. And it's interesting how a younger coach who's now coaching the Philadelphia Eagles turns around and beats Andy Reid, who used to coach the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's interesting how life turns around back and looks back at you. Okay, so we're just going to do another recap of this. But before I do the recap, let's figure out where Bitcoin, Ethereum, let's find out where Bitcoin is up $700 to the price of $97,110. Let's find out where Ethereum is. Ethereum is up $38, trading to the price of $2,664. That means that the S&P 500 is up. And the S&P is up $42.50 to the price of $6,092. And finally, let's see how much the Dow Jones has climbed. The Dow Jones has done a reversal and is up $151 to the price of 44,454 US dollars. And then let's go back to these headlines with a third federal judge blocks Trump's birthright citizenship order. And they're going to do it. And let's look at this. Vance questions authority of U.S. judges to challenge Trump. And now we have another judge trying to decide whether Trump can do a federal buyout. No, like if Trump wants to cut the federal budget and cut the staff, no federal judge can even do that. There's nothing in the Constitution that gives a federal judge that authority. So this is just, that's all this is. Okay, so let's read this headline so you can check it out. And J.D. Vance is an accomplished attorney from Yale University, okay? U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance has suggested the power of U.S. judges is beginning to reach its limit as the White House responds to a flurry of lawsuits that aim to stall its agenda. Now, I'm going to read to you guys the bullet points so we can get into this. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power, he wrote on X. Judges, and this is a quote from J.D. Vance, judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power, he wrote on X. Vance's remark on Sunday came less than 24 hours after a judge blocked members of Trump's newly created advisory board, the Department of Government Efficiency, from accessing sensitive Treasury Department systems. Now, how is a federal judge, going to stop Trump's appointed group from having access to the U.S. Treasury? A federal judge doesn't even have this authority, okay? So, like, now we're getting to the point where we're just going to steamroll all these judges. Like, all these judges stepping in front of Donald Trump and his executive orders, we're going to take a steamroller that's designed to flatten out the tar and the concrete pavement on the highways, and that's what we're going to do, and just steamroll these judges because they're overstepping their authority, and they don't have that authority. The Trump administration seeking to swiftly and dramatically reshape the federal government is being challenged by legal hurdles. And it doesn't matter. While Democratic politicians have been quick to denounce Trump's moves without control of Congress, their legislative options to curtail the president are limited. Okay, so these are executive orders, and all these judges are doing are stopping it. But Trump is going to follow through, and we're just going to push through. And we're about what you guys are, honey man, what's up? And what you guys are about to watch is Trump's about to go gangster on these federal judges that are blocking all this stuff. Trump has already revoked the security clearances of Letitia James, the AG of New York, and Alvin Bragg. So they basically can't even do their job now, okay? Letitia James has been banned from all federal buildings, as well as Alvin Bragg, so they can't even enter their own courthouse to do their job. So effectively, Letitia James is the federal attorney general, and Letitia James cannot even enter a federal building. Alvin Bragg cannot do that either. But let's check this out. And U.S. aid, let's be real, U.S. aid was written into law through an executive order by John F. Kennedy. And it was designed to help countries post World War II to be able to develop. It was not designed to be given handouts to Chuck Schumer and other people in Congress. We're going to find all these names of people in Congress and otherwise, like Joe Biden, Barack Obama. We're going to find out the Clintons received money. We're probably going to find out Letitia James and Alvin Bragg and Fannie Willis have received some money. So let's just go through the bullet points of what the Democrats are filing lawsuits. Ending birthright citizenship. All that is a backdoor entry for people from Mexico. And they've been doing it for more than 30 years. They've been doing it since the 80s. Many people from Mexico will come to visit a family member and they get the right to visit for a month. Many Mexican women will come to America 6 months pregnant and overstay the visa that they were given for 30 days and then give enough time to have their children born in America and then go back to Mexico. And then they use the fact that their child was born in America as their excuse to be able to come to America to get to seek health care for the child and then obtain housing. So this needs to end. Migrant transfers to Guantanamo Bay. What establishment of Doge ordering federal workers a buyout incentive? Like, what place does a federal judge have in this? And the Democrats can't block the executive branch for cutting the budget. We're in a deficit. So now judges are trying to create policy. Trying to tell us what the economy can bear, and they've overstepped their bounds. Housing of transgender inmates, ban on transgender individuals serving in the military. That's going to be banned. Like, no federal judge can stop that. Ban on DEIA initiatives in the executive branch. Barack Obama signed that into law. So, and we noticed that no federal judge blocked anything that Joe Biden did to reverse the laws of Donald Trump. And he reversed everything through executive orders. Now Donald Trump's doing it, and federal judges are saying that he can't. But all these same federal judges allowed Joe Biden to do all this on day one to everything that Donald Trump had put into law, and removal of independent agency leaders. So let's go through it once more. Let's find out what Elon Musk said. Musk himself called the ruling insane, asking, how on earth are we supposed to stop fraud and waste of taxpayer money without looking at how money is spent? So here are the bullet points. Judge blocks Musk team access to Treasury Department records. Trump defends Musk and said Doge will look at military spending. Inside Musk race to upend government. Okay, we have some people here. Come on in. Welcome, everybody. Okay. Hello, my brother. How you doing? I like that music. I love that music. Now, this is what dumb Liz Cheney had to say about all of this. If you believe any of the multiple federal courts that have ruled against you so far are exceeding their statutory or constitutional authority, your recourse is to appeal. You don't get to rage quit the republic just because you are losing. That's tyranny. Okay, so we don't even understand, like, it's just a matter of time before we put Liz Cheney in prison. So Liz Cheney future is in an orange jumpsuit in prison. And the more she talks and pops off her mouth, the more she ensures that's going to happen. Okay, so with that, we're going to close out, everybody. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow me.